If you're already a fan of Japanese jazz music or you're just curious about it, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to be sharing 10 essential Japanese jazz albums covering a real mix of styles, from post-bop and hard bop to jazz funk and jazz fusion, so that you get a feel for the full spectrum of Japanese jazz. If you're new here, my name is Joe Session. Welcome. This is going to be a lot of fun, so let's get straight into it. We're kicking things off with an album that for many people is a gateway into Japanese jazz. Scenery by pianist Ryo Fukui, released in 1976. This is one of those records that feels instantly welcoming. Fukui recorded Scenery relatively early in his career, and there's something beautifully honest about it. His playing is rooted in hard bop and post-bop traditions, but it never feels like imitation. Instead, it sounds deeply personal and sincere. My favourite track here is Early Summer, which perfectly captures the album's mood. It's reflective, melodic, and unhurried. The kind of tune that invites you to slow down and really listen. If you're new to Japanese jazz, Scenery is a near perfect place to start. Next up is one of the most iconic Japanese jazz albums of all time. Cat by Hiroshi Suzuki, also released in 1976. This album has achieved almost cult status, and for good reason. The sound is warm, funky and soulful, sitting somewhere between jazz funk and spiritual jazz. My favourite track is Romance, which shows a softer, more lyrical side of the album. It's smooth, atmospheric and incredibly immersive. Cat is one of those albums that works just as well as background listening as it does for focused headphones on sessions. Moving slightly earlier, we have Unicorn by bassist Teruo Nakamura, released in 1973. This album leans much more into jazz funk and fusion territory. Nakamura had already made a name for himself internationally, and Unicorn reflects that global outlook. The grooves are tight, the rhythms are infectious, and there's a real sense of confidence running through the record. My favourite track is Derek's Dance, which is driven by an irresistible bass line. It's energetic, playful, and full of momentum. A great example of how Japanese jazz musicians were pushing into funkier, more electric sounds during the early 70s. Next, we have Juice by guitarist Ryo Kawasaki, released in 1976. This album is a fascinating blend of jazz fusion, funk, and Latin influences. Kawasaki was an innovator, particularly when it came to electric guitar, and Juice feels adventurous without ever being overwhelming. My favourite track is The Breeze and I, which puts a jazz fusion spin on a well-known melody. It's smooth, expressive, and showcases Kawasaki's distinctive guitar voice beautifully. This is a great album for listeners who enjoy jazz with a bit of flair and technical sparkle. Now we jump into the 1980s with Mint Jams by Casiopea, released in 1982. This is a live album and it's often considered one of the finest jazz fusion records ever produced in Japan. Casiopea's sound is polished, high energy and incredibly tight. Every note feels deliberate and the band's chemistry is unmistakable. My favourite track is Take Me, which perfectly captures the album's upbeat, feel-good energy. Mint Jams is an essential listen for anyone interested in jazz fusion, and it's a great example of how technically dazzling music can still be fun and accessible. Next on the list is Evening Star by keyboardist Jun Fukamachi, released in 1977. This album has a more cosmic, atmospheric feel to it, blending jazz fusion with elements of funk and electronic music. Fukamachi was known for his work with synthesizers, and Evening Star really leans into that futuristic sound. My favourite track is Seahorses, which feels expansive and dreamlike. There's a strong sense of exploration throughout the album, making it a great pick for listeners who enjoy jazz that pushes beyond traditional boundaries. Released in 1977, An Insatiable High by guitarist Masayoshi Takanaka is pure joy from start to finish. Takanaka's music is instantly recognizable, bright, melodic, and full of positivity. While this album leans more towards jazz fusion and instrumental funk, there's still plenty here for jazz fans to enjoy. My favourite track is the title track, An Insatiable High, which perfectly sums up the album's spirit. It's uplifting, catchy, and endlessly replayable. This is a brilliant entry point for listeners who might be new to jazz but love melody and groove. Next up is Another Departure by pianist Takehiro Honda, released in 1977. This album is more on the spiritual and modal jazz side, with a strong sense of atmosphere and emotional depth. Honda's playing is expressive and thoughtful, and the album often feels introspective without becoming heavy. My favourite track is Wonder, which unfolds gradually and rewards patient listening. Another Departure is a fantastic choice if you enjoy jazz that feels contemplative and expansive. Now we go back to 1969 with Hi-Nology by trumpeter Terumasa Hino. This is the oldest album on the list, and it offers a fascinating glimpse into the early development of modern jazz in Japan. Hino's playing is bold and expressive, and the album carries a strong post-bop influence. My favourite track is the title track Hi-Nology, which showcases Hino's powerful trumpet sound and forward-thinking approach. This album is essential listening for anyone interested in the roots of Japanese jazz. Finally, we have S.P.O.R.T.S by T-Square, released in 1986. This album represents the slick, high-energy side of Japanese jazz fusion in the mid-1980s. It's polished, upbeat, and unapologetically fun. While it's fusion-heavy, the musicianship is top tier throughout. My favourite track is Treasure Island, which is energetic, melodic, and instantly memorable. S.P.O.R.T.S is a great reminder that jazz can be joyful, accessible, and full of life. And there we have it, 10 essential Japanese jazz albums that I think every jazz fan should spend some time with. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's your favourite Japanese jazz album? And if I missed one that you think absolutely deserves a spot on the list, let me know. I'm always looking for new recommendations. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And if you want to continue hanging out with me here on the channel, I'll pop a video in the corner for you to click on now. Other than that, I'd like to say thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.